Hey, hi everyone, welcome to my reading, welcome to my channel. I'm barely getting any views. Let me just tell y'all right now. Oh, I need to charge my shit. Ever since like I started getting attacked and stuff like that, I've been consistently making videos since I was a kid, okay? I feel like I've been growing my channel for a while and I just don't get the same results that I feel like others who are consistent in their channels are getting. There's a lot of stuff like that, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. I make these videos not just for myself, but for the collective as well. I do what I do because anyways, like, even if people aren't really watching me directly, they still hear me. They still know what I'm talking about most of the time. Especially in high vibrational frequencies, like people get downloads and talk about the things that I say. And it also comes with being the first and the last. It's like, I guess it's just me expressing my feelings right now, authentic feelings that I have. And it's like, sometimes I'll like express something, right? And then somebody else will start talking about it like, oh, I can't stand that. Okay, hold up. It's like, you know, when you make a joke in like when you guys were in school or whatever, when you guys make a joke and then someone tries to take that joke and act like they did it and they don't even give you any credit whatsoever. That's been my life for like so long, where I'd say something, I'd make something up, right? Or I'd trend something. And all of a sudden, all these other people are doing it and then they're getting the recognition for it. And I'm just being left to like, I don't know. And then somebody will come by and act like I didn't do it or something. And then that's the worst. I don't know why that happens, but I don't really care. I like doing what I do because it's what I'm meant to be doing. It's part of my purpose. So, in this reading, I wanted to talk about like, what'd you call it? There were some people who were basically mirroring, other people's truths as if it was vendettas against them. So like, that's, for example, like how I'm like, okay, whatever, like they can do whatever they want. Yeah, I said something and they took it, whatever, I don't care, right? But that isn't like me going, oh, that person is like stealing stuff. Like, I don't care about that. They maybe just heard it and thought it was funny, right? Someone maybe felt inspired by what it is that I was doing, or maybe they got the download and then thought that, you know what I mean? We're all here in a collective as one anyways. Like, I'm not gonna be like, this is like the energy of like, okay, I rebuke greed, because that's really what it is. It's a lot of tempting energies when it comes to greed, and I don't fuck with that at all. Okay, so it's like, yeah. So it's like, be aware of feeling as if things that you're doing are being taken for granted, okay, or being taken away and then being utilized for granted, okay. Be aware of that, because some people may be doing that by their principality. They might be doing that by their powers, by their false ego identity, okay, by their egos. And then some people may be doing that without caution as well, so without heeding what it is that they're doing. But for you, collective, it's time for you to release these things, okay? So, for example, like I'm releasing that, what you call it, energy right now, right? And this is one of those, like, this is also why this is like one of those complicated cases where it's like, understanding and being empathetic of humanity, or being empathetic about humanity. That's what it is. Being empathetic about humanity. Human beings, a lot of them don't really recognize what it is that they do until they get karma for it, right? So this is like, these are like lessons that they still are yet to learn. Some people are still yet to learn. And then there are others, right? And this is who we're going to be like, what we're going to be cleansing, all those people that basically are doing it because they are basically taking advantage of innocence, naivety, and blamelessness, okay? So it's idea corruption through outcome desperation. So it's like people who are desperate for, or there is some sort of desperation for an outcome to be the way that something is, or maybe a fear of that outcome, right? So it's having a falsely desired result of an attributed idea, right? So for example, this is literally like falsely, I'm just gonna read this out. Falsely interpreted narrative. And also basically how it comes into fruition is how fear affects physical attributes, okay? And that's what I'm cleansing out right now. So basically, there's multiple ways that something can come into fruition and manifest IRL in real life, right? And this usually is things that have already been done in the astral realm, or things that have been done in the etheric energies, okay? And then they've manifested in the physical. Is it reversible? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, okay? But I'll be tapping into the purification of these energies and seeing what it is that we're meant to be learning about this at this current moment. So it's all very detailed, okay? And I honestly, now that I've said it, this is just going to be in the next reading, actually, in my next video. So I'm going to express now my feelings when it comes to this. So I can still feel weakened energies, right? I still feel like there are weakened energies that are forcing themselves to be surrounded by whatever it is that they think will be successful for them to catapult off of. And then there's what you call it? So there's that. There's also falsely interpreting ideas and identities, right? I feel like there are energies that are falsely interpreting things in without recognizing their own downfall within what it is that they're manifesting for themselves. Okay, there's a lot of fear when it comes to that. There's so much fear when it comes to all these things that I'm communicating about. Like, it's like a cesspool of fear. It's really fucking freaky. Okay, and that's what I'm clearing out right now because it's really deranged. And I really feel that so strongly. For a while now, I've been basically investigating these energies, and I've been strongly opposing their whatever it is that they've been trying to manifest in my life by staying positive, right? By staying high vibrational and courageous within this whole thing, okay? For this past entire year, in fact, almost 2 years now, it's been like a lot of paranoia, a lot of like indigestible information that has been like being prompted by individuals who just seem to think that they have some sort of power against other people, or like, but basically it's all powers, right? It's really weird. It's really freaky. But I've been feeling that lately. I've been feeling like there have been people as well that have been playing around with either mine or other people's social platforms, whether it be sending like doxing, hate, or stuff like that they've been watching over people's platforms to basically cancel them or force some sort of canceling of their basically entrepreneurship. Basically, it's like sabotage, a lot of sabotaging energies, right? And them really projecting whatever it is that they see as sabotage, which is their mirrored conflict within themselves, onto others. So it feels as if like the professionals or the people that are making these videos, or the people that are conducting themselves within high vibrational manner, somehow have anything to do with them. So about 3 years ago or so, or maybe about 3 years ago or so, like maybe 2.5 years ago, I got a call from someone who was telling me, like, I thought that I was gonna get like a reading, right, done for someone. I thought it was gonna be like my first paid for reading, right? I was still growing my channel and stuff like that. And that person was telling me about Kanye and telling me about how Kanye this, Kanye that. And I was just like, bruh, like, I don't know what this is about. But basically, it's like that energy. It's like very disoriented, putting things, and like, yeah, there's been a lot of people who've been victims to situations that have been occurring, especially when it comes to everything in life, right? Everything on earth, at least. But then it's like trying to force other people to interpret what they're going through so that they can feel better about what it is, without understanding that it is a service that is being provided, right? So it's the energy of disacknowledging the service of others. That's really what it is. Even in purpose. So some people have the purpose to provide services, whereas there are some other people who provide services within purpose of what it is that they're orienting themselves towards in their destiny. So some people are just destined to provide some sort of services, even though it may not be within their own authentic purpose that they are developing. So it's still in development, right? But it's like this need, desperation for instant gratification, right? And that's what they've been projecting so that they can feel like comforted within their false a sense of security that they find in their egos when it comes to service providence, okay, service providing energy. So for example, we usually pay for the services that we are provided with due to the exchange energy, just like pure energy exchange, right? Where it's like transactions that also allow for modality, okay? Let me look that up. So that's also why taxes are so imperative, is because like the energy of having everything orchestrated in a way that is within order is how we maintain balance and integrity, right? That's why we are accommodated for when it comes to our justification of actions. So even if something is made to be a mistake, then we can still justify how it was a mistake, how we can learn from it, and where we can grow from when it comes to those mistakes, as well as making decisions that are for our highest good, right? So those things are accommodated for. This is why I also really express a lot of respect for principles, power, and discipline, okay, as well as dominions, and most importantly God, right? Because everything is within order and perfected within his reach and sights and everything that he does. Yeah, so in the next reading, I'll be tapping into things like that. I'll be tapping into like just the information that of these, basically, like, you know what? Let's get into it, right? Let's see what else I'm feeling. I've been feeling a lot of like energy where it's like stereotypical, very stereotyped, unconscious, like stereotyped unconscious of like effects of things. Like, I don't know how to explain this specifically, but it's like they like targeting very stereotypical traits within individuals that basically make it seem as if their values are compromised, but it's not true, right? For example, people who see me, right, and see what I'm going through, and it's been happening quite a bit, they'd be like, well, how did you survive this long? Like, and they couldn't possibly think that maybe I've been working and that I'm authentic and that I was able to make my fundings and that I was able to, survive through everything that I was surviving through, right? They can't acknowledge that. It's like them really desperate to latch onto something that they feel. It's like them looking for some sort of darkness within themselves that they can find in others without even acknowledging the darkness that they have within themselves. Like, that's really what it is. It's literally, that's what I see as karmic bypassing, because it's not really real. It's not really true, because the only reason they're searching for it is because they're being derailed and redirected from seeking the light and seeking justice with that darkness that they feel so, it's like them trying to put together. The only way that I can really explain this is like, in Spider-Man, like when they talk about Venom, it's like them energies trying to come together and coagulate together, right? But it's like darker energies and frequencies trying to come together, and it's searching for more things to build itself upon, like a mecha, you know what I mean? Transformers type of energy, where they're all trying to come together and find each other, right? But then it's like, that's basically like a mirrored vendetta that they feel like the light is utilizing, which is like, what they're doing is working with that energy, right? Whereas in the light is completely different. And this is like the big difference is that we're focused on God. We're focused on going towards the light. We're focused on living our life. And this is something that I've been basically just trying to do, is live my life. And I feel like there's just been these energies that are so angry at me for being alive. And so I feel like there's this like hidden rage and hidden like motive and hidden like idea of what it is that they think that I am, and them trying to manifest through my feelings and my empathy and my trust and my validation that I have within myself of who I am and what it is that I do here and my purpose, so that they like, I don't know, to do whatever it is that they're doing. And I can feel this so deeply. And the reason why it was also like really hard for me to talk about my feelings is because every time I communicate about my feelings, it's like they start to attack my feelings, and they start to think that like I can feel them coming. I can feel them trying to attack my feelings. I can feel them trying to bully me. I can feel them like trying to do all these things to me. And then me feeling the physical manifestations of that anxiety, that fear, that energy, and then me literally feeling like I can feel the deterioration of their essence. I can feel the deteriorations of their souls. I can feel the deteriorations within who they are. I can feel their paranoid, fragmented personality. I can feel their insecurities. I can feel it. I literally feel it, right? But because I'm not approaching it the way that they feel is required for them to be approached, right? They feel as if like, I don't know how they feel. I know what they're going through. I know what it is that they want me to feel, right? But I'm not accepting that. Right? I'm not accepting those feelings as my own, right? I'm detaching from those things, and they seem to like feel as if like this makes me, I don't know. They seem to act as if like I can feel that they think. I can also feel their thoughts. Okay, I guess I could say that too, right? I can feel their thoughts quite literally. I can feel that they're thinking that I'm some sort of impersonator, but this is because I can also feel something that they feel that they're impersonating about me. So it's like them feeling as if it is their duty, okay, to conduct themselves in a way that throws me off, but I can feel them doing it, okay? It's like watching a dog trying to take food from your plate. It's kind of that same energy. It's like, I can see you, I can feel you, I'm aware that that exists, but you're not going to take the food off of my plate. So when I say no, they think I'm talking to something else or someone else. And I'm like, I can literally feel this. Like, I can really feel it. And then they try to like commit all these crimes in front of me, and that's where it is like feeling like a ghost. And honestly, that just brought me closer to the Holy Spirit. I just feel a lot closer to God when it came to those types of situations, because I was like, is this really how it feels? Is this really how it feels? Because like I can feel like people are completely disacknowledging my presence. I can feel as if they're assuming that they're not being seen, or assuming that they're not being heard, only due to the fact that they are doing whatever it is that they're doing, and they feel as if that is gonna compromise the values of whatever is around them. And it's not true. And that's why I can feel those things. I can feel them trying to build illusions. I can feel them trying to hurt what it is that I'm doing. It's like they're talking directly at me, right? And what'd you call it? And that's honestly, that's how I know I'm one with God. Honestly, that's why I know I'm one with God, because everything about the world, in the world, is so like distant and detached away from me. Like, and I'm away from the world. I'm away from whatever that worldly energy is. When it comes to desire now, and when it comes to my passion, everything that I am, I'm seeing a whole new perspective of everything that I had been fighting, right, in the world. When I had been there, I had been fighting these things. I had been fighting away from these things. And now I can feel like the true, pure essence of what it is that I am, and what those initial energies really are. and who I really am when it comes to these energies that are pure of God, of the light. So it's like, yeah, so like now the final phase of it is like magic, right? That's that final thing. Because like how my physical energy and my physical attributes are come across a lot like magical, right? So this is something that is even like the senses. Okay, so I'm gonna call it, so like magic as a form of sense, magical sense, yeah, wonder, like wonderment. Okay. And then they also don't realize that I can feel who they are. I can feel them from my past lives. I can remember all these things. They feel as if, like, I don't know, they keep they keep going through these tests and trials that they feel other people have to go through as well. But it's like, you know, there are people who are driving. I don't have a driver's license, so I don't drive, right? So it's like, I can feel like, okay, what was this about? See, when people are driving, right, and then there's someone driving drunk, right? That person gets pulled over, and they have to do a test to see if they're, inebriated or not, right? If they're under the influence or not. And it's like them having that audacity to feel as if every single person now on the road must go through that same test. But they're the ones that are drunk and driving. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of energy where it's like an uncorrelated experience to what everybody else is doing, but them thinking that everybody else has to do it too. It's like really fucking weird. It's a lot of pride, isn't it? I rebuke pride. So it's like the same thing with me, where it's like, I don't think that anybody has to go through what I went through. And I can't stand it when people say, like, especially readers say, like, oh, now that person's gonna have to go through what I go through. No, bitch, like, that's not how it works. That's how I know that these people often were studying witches, because I'm not a witch. So I can't say, that somebody else is going to go through what I went through. That's actually against what it is that I do. Like, I make sure that other people don't go through what I go through. Like, that's why I break generational curses. I'm a generational curse breaker. That's why it is that I do what I do. So that I can make sure that not any other person would have to go through what I went through. There was something that just happened on earth, right, where people were literally being killed. This is something that I already foresaw. I already saw it coming. I already explained to people. I already talked about it and everything. Was I completely fucking ignored? Absolutely. But that's another curse that I already broke, that I'm literally learning how to live outside of now. Literally, I had to learn how to live outside of that, whatever curse that was, right? And I would explain that, but I don't see a reason to do that, right? I would rather explain to God the reasons as to why I prefer not to communicate about these things, right? But these are my experiences. These are not experiences that other people would have to go through. Like, my negative experiences and my positive experiences all have to do with my life path and my story and my life. They don't have to be everybody else's experiences. And that's the same thing where it's like they're thinking that they can compromise their fear attributes or whatever attributes that they find and whatever vendetta it is that they have, right? And that's the same thing that karmic energy was doing to me, where it's like they feel like me being my own independent person somehow is something that they hadn't gone through, and thus because they hadn't experienced being their own independent individual and having their own personal attributes and destined energies for themselves, that me doing whatever I'm doing somehow correlates to them. And that's not how it works, right? I literally constantly, like, I'm living my life like regularly. Like, I live my life regularly. I live my life ordinarily, like within what God chose for me in my destiny, in my path, within my mission and everything. So I don't see how these energies do these things to anyone. I don't understand it. I don't get it. So when I'm doing I'm doing the best that I can to help people, and it's all being blocked because somebody feels as if it's going against them and what they're doing, when there's all these different kinds of people doing, right, what they're doing, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like them not acknowledging who really has a vendetta against them. Like, it's like that energy where it's like they feel as if I'm someone that they should be attacking, but I'm not someone that anyone should be attacking. I don't think that I should be being attacked by anyone. And I don't get it. I don't get how that's possible. So in the next reading, I'm going to tap into that. I'm going to find out what's going on and why it's happening, and just like, whatever. Yeah.